You're listening to the Core Factors audio library, spoken versions of Core Factors articles and research. This piece is titled, How Social Dynamics Reduces Everyday Misunderstandings. The following narration preserves the original content and context of the written article.
How Social Dynamics Reduces Everyday Misunderstandings. Why misunderstandings are so common at work. Even capable, well-intentioned managers misread their people at times. A quiet response may be interpreted as disengagement when it is actually reflection. A direct question may feel confrontational when it signals curiosity. A desire for clarity may sound negative. A fast decision may be labeled impatience. These misunderstandings are common across organizations and often occur between people who respect one another. They do not indicate poor management. They reflect the reality that workplaces are filled with innate behavioral differences that often go unnamed. In fast-moving, hybrid environments with shifting expectations, these differences are amplified. Without a shared framework for understanding how people naturally act and interact, managers fill in gaps with assumptions. Over time, those assumptions quietly weaken trust, collaboration, and performance. The hidden impact of misinterpretation on team performance. When behavior is misinterpreted, consequences ripple outward. Mistrust grows as motives are questioned. Performance concerns become harder to diagnose as managers confuse behavior with engagement or capability. Teams spend more time clarifying misunderstandings, which slows progress and increases frustration. Gallup's State of the Global Workplace 2025 report found manager engagement declined from 30% to 27%, the steepest drop among any workforce group. When managers disengage, teams disengage with them. Only 21% of individual contributors reported being engaged. SHRM's 2025 State of the Workplace report echoed this challenge, noting that 35% of workers experienced poor or ineffective management, often tied to unclear expectations or misinterpreted communication. In remote and hybrid environments, where nuance is harder to detect, these misunderstandings become a measurable performance risk. Why good managers misread people. Most managers misinterpret behavior not because they lack skill, but because they interpret others through their own natural interaction pattern. When patterns differ, intentions are easily misunderstood. Social dynamics describes 4 innate patterns of acting and interacting when results matter: mover, mapper, involver, and integrator. Each pattern approaches collaboration, decision-making, pacing, and communication differently. These differences are strengths, not flaws. But they become sources of friction when they remain unnamed. The 4 social dynamics styles. Mover. A mover who speaks directly may believe they are being clear and helpful. Someone with a different pattern may hear the exact same message as abrupt or insensitive. Involver. An involver who generates ideas enthusiastically may intend to create momentum. Others may experience the energy as scattered or overwhelming. Mapper. A mapper who pauses to think may intend to be precise and responsible. A teammate may interpret the pause as disengagement or disagreement. Integrator. An integrator who asks detailed questions may intend to prevent errors. Their peers may read the questions as resistance or lack of trust. None of these interpretations reflect intent. They reflect how natural patterns collide without a shared language. Why misunderstandings escalate under pressure. Under stress, people lean more heavily into their natural patterns. Movers push for action, mappers seek clarity, involvers seek connection, integrators seek detail and alignment. DDI's Global Leadership Forecast 2025 reported that 71% of leaders experienced a significant increase in stress, and stressed leaders were twice as likely to feel burned out. Under pressure, managers have less capacity to interpret behavior accurately. The American Psychological Association's 2025 findings showed that 44% of workers said unclear or sudden changes negatively affected their mental health. Stress increases sensitivity to tone, pacing, and perceived intent. Misinterpretation compounds stress, and stress fuels further misinterpretation. How social dynamics reduces everyday misunderstandings. Social dynamics replaces guesswork with a practical framework for understanding behavior. It helps managers interpret patterns rather than react to isolated moments. Managers learn to see patterns, not incidents. Single moments are no longer treated as attitude or performance issues. They are understood as predictable expressions of natural patterns. Communication becomes more accurate. Movers benefit from concise requests. Mappers need structured expectations. Involvers respond to conversational framing. Integrators appreciate thoughtful detail. Adjusting communication reduces emotional friction. Managers recognize their own interpretive bias. Understanding personal tendencies helps managers separate their reactions from an employee's actual intent. Relationships improve through accurate understanding. When employees feel seen accurately, engagement and trust increase. Social dynamics supports managers in responding to people rather than assumptions. Practical ways managers can apply social dynamics. Managers can begin using social dynamics immediately with simple practices. Ask clarifying questions before assuming intent. How were you approaching that decision? What were you considering when you paused? How would you prefer to move forward? Adjust delivery to fit the receiver. Would you like a quick overview or more detail? Do you want time to think before we decide? Is it helpful to explore ideas together first? Explain personal tendencies transparently. Statements like, I tend to move quickly, let me know if you need more detail. Normalize differences. Interpret behavior through pattern rather than judgment. Silence may mean reflection. Questions may mean alignment. Enthusiasm may signal engagement. Fast pacing may indicate momentum. Understanding. People is the foundation of good management. Managers succeed when they understand how people naturally interact, decide, and respond under pressure. Misreading those patterns creates unnecessary friction and weakens performance. Social dynamics gives managers a practical framework for interpreting behavior with accuracy and respect. When managers understand their teams, communication becomes clearer, trust strengthens, and everyday misunderstandings lose their power. Build clearer understanding with core factors. If you want to reduce misinterpretations and improve everyday communication, Core Factors provides tools designed for real-world leadership challenges. Explore how social dynamics works alongside type elements and type discovery to support clarity, trust, and effective management. Discover how understanding behavioral patterns can transform everyday leadership interactions.
This concludes the audio version of this Core Factors article, and you can read the full written version and explore related research at corefactors.com.